And I know some of you out there, you've been doing that, right? You call it, yeah, I just volunteer here, do this and do that. But what about you and your gifts? Like there's things that you want to accomplish in your life that you're not necessarily doing because you're like, oh, well, I have to volunteer. I got to volunteer at the kids' school, or I have to volunteer at the church, or I have to volunteer in the community, or whatever. You're doing all these different things that seem great, right? Like it's helping people out truly, but who's helping you? What about what you want? What about the things that you need to accomplish?
To some, boundaries are just placing limits. To me, it's where the limitless things begin.
Hello, hello, hello. And thank you for tuning into the Boundaries and More podcast with Jess Abraham. I'm your host, Jess Abraham, and today's episode is brought to you by Joyful Styles. Joyful Styles is a lifestyle brand that provides premium quality apparel that promotes joy and positivity. Joyful Styles believes how we approach a situation matters, and choosing to be joyful makes all the difference. You have the power and it's time to embrace it. Get your Joyful Styles apparel at joyfulstyles.com. That's JOYFULSTYLEZ.com. Alrighty, so today's episode I'm excited to talk about because it's really, I believe, will help you be super practical to help you really understand what it is that's going on in your life. How, like, it will give you a hint, a little taste into what your boundaries really look like, even if you never really thought about it before. But we're going to talk about 5 signs that your boundaries are lacking. All right. 5 signs that your boundaries are lacking, right? I've noticed, right? One of the reasons that I really got into to start specifically focusing on this space with boundaries is because I noticed the pattern, right? With the people that I've been helping and the people that I've been coaching and going through these things with, I just noticed like, oh man, this person had it. Oh, yep, it was boundaries things here. Oh, yep, it was a boundaries thing there. It all came back for me to their boundaries. They didn't necessarily realize and recognize that that's what it was. But when I put the things together and listed all out, wrote it all out, common denominator was in some shape or form, their boundaries were lacking and it got them in a position that they were in and they were ready to get up out of, which I assisted them through, right? So again, 5 signs your boundaries are lacking. All right, first one, you don't speak up when you're being mistreated, right? Number 1, you don't speak up when you're being mistreated. I know some of you may have heard that and be like, yeah, I do. I say something to people if they do whatever. Like, really think about that though, right? Somebody may have done something to you, you know, wasn't right, but what you did is like, oh, that's just how they are, or that's just whatever. You just kind of brushed it off because maybe there's someone in your life that's been in your life for a while and you just kind of got used to that kind of stuff. Don't make it right. But since you got used to it, you're like, oh, no, it is what it is. That's just how they act. That's just them. That's whatever. No. Maybe it is just them. Maybe that is true. However, if you're being mistreated, you must speak up for yourself, right? And if you're not, I'm just telling you, there's a sign, red flag, right? We've seen these things on red flag right there. That is number 1. All right, going straight into it. Number 2, you give away too much of your time. You give away too much of your time. Yep, that can look like so many different things. I got a couple different examples here for you. Like, we can start here. For one, right? You may have some plans, but then somebody else be like, yeah, you know what? I got this going on. I want to do that instead. Like, and you just go with their plans instead of yours, right? You want to do something that you're really excited about, but then you're like, I really want to support this person in this way. And what we do is start to romanticize things. Oh, I'm just helping somebody else out. Oh, I'm doing whatever. Like, red flag there too. Boundaries may be lacking, right? Because for me, right? Something that I realized that what I was doing, where my boundaries were lacking, we switched some things up, fixed those things. But me coaching and helping others, like truly, it's just in my blood. It's like, it's in me. It's in my DNA. It's what I love to do. It energizes me. It gets me going like, yes, let's go. And I'm so willing to help people in so many different capacities, right? But one thing I realized was that I was helping all these people, just giving away all my talents, my time, and what? And I wasn't charging people for it. Initially, I was like, okay with that. But then I realized, like, no, like, I must use my gifts properly that God has given me, right? I don't want to be like old dude in the Bible that, that got in trouble for not using his talents well, right? He didn't multiply those talents. Like, oh, he just buried it, put it in the ground, didn't do nothing with it, came back like, oh, what are you fool? Right? I'm going to take what you got and give it to somebody else because you didn't use it. You didn't multiply. You didn't invest. You didn't do none of that stuff. See me? Nah. I had to switch some things up because it's time for me to, yes, this is a gift. This is a talent. This is a skill that I have that comes to me naturally. That's why I was just freely giving it to people and helping people. And of course, I'm doing that in the capacity here on the podcast. It's something I definitely love to do. However, when people want to go deeper into their situations, personal, one-on-one time, etc., like, hey, I got to send you the invoice for that now. Like, I just can't give away all my time. There's certain times I've allocated that I will give away, right? But all of it can't happen anymore. It just cannot happen. And I know some of you out there, you've been doing that, right? You call it, yeah, I just volunteer here, do this and do that. But what about you and your gifts? Like, there's things that you want to accomplish in your life that you're not necessarily doing because you're like, oh, well, I had to volunteer. I got to volunteer at the kids' school, or I have to volunteer at the church, or I have to volunteer in the community or whatever. You're doing all these different things that seem great, right? Like, it's helping people out truly, but who's helping you? What about what you want? What about the things that you need to accomplish? Right? Again, we romanticize it like, well, I'm helping others, so it's all good. No, man, you give away too much of your time. Red flag. Boundaries. We need to put some boundaries in place there. All right. I think y'all get the point. Number 2, right? All right. So we're going to jump into number 3. Number 3, you feel guilty for dedicating time to yourself. I'm going to say that again. Number 3 is you feel guilty for dedicating time to yourself. Yep. I know. I feel y'all out there, especially my married folks out there. I know. This one right here, even when I put so many different boundaries in place and just cruising through, but it seemed like, man, when it comes to my wife though, sometimes I'm just on the fence like, I want to work on this, but I want to spend that time with my wife, and I don't want it to be like, I want to be a great wife, so I need to make sure we're having this us time and this and that. Like, nope, we must learn to prioritize, right? Yes, our spouse, some of you have children, your children, all of that is important, right? But you got them kids, hey, go and drop them off at daycare, at school, at the babysitter, whatever you need to do to have some you time, and don't feel guilty about that. Right? With your spouse, like, it's okay. Like, set it up. Hey, babe, I'm going to be, even let them know in advance. Hey, babe, I'm going to be working on this at this time. What are you going to do during that time? So if y'all can both work on something at the same time, then come back together at another time, then it works out for everyone, right? That's something that me and my wife do all the time. Like right now, here I am recording this podcast, right? My wife is working on stuff that she needs to work on. We just scheduled a time out. Okay, from this time to this time, we're going to work on XYZ, right? So nobody's feeling bad about dedicating time for themselves and the things that they must get done, right? There's ways to work around it. There's ways that can help you out. Again, we can go deeper in this stuff, We will. I'm willing to. Hit me up. Boundaries and More podcast on IG. Look, I'm just telling you, but you like feeling guilty about that. Like, you are important. You must make you a priority. Dedicate that time to yourself. And what I help people do is start doing that without feeling guilty about it. It's definitely one of the things I'm very proud of. Because, man, I'm just opening up, like, it's just something in me that just loves when I'm opening other people's eyes to see it, from a different perspective, so that they don't feel guilty or feel like they're doing something wrong when truly they're not. They're just looking out for themselves. Like, cause you must, right? Put your oxygen mask on first. You can't help anybody else if you're not breathing. You can't help anybody else. You can't pour into anybody else's cup. If your cup isn't full, you must fill you up first, right? Okay, that's enough on that one. I think y'all get it. If you don't, hey, hit me up. Boundaries and More podcast on IG. Let's go. All right, so number four, you're worried about pleasing others, even if it's detrimental to you. I'm gonna say that again. Number 4, you're worried about pleasing others, even if it's detrimental to you. Ooh, I've seen it too many times. And I'm here to help. It carved out a space for me to help people in this way, to help set up these healthy and effective boundaries, right? But like, man, my heart is in this. Like, I've seen people, you're tired. Again, you're tired. You worked all week. You worked all day even, right? And you got to come and do X, Y. What you should be doing is resting. What should be happening is that you taking care of you and your mental health, right? But what you decide to do, probably talk on the phone to somebody who just want to be filling your air with drama. Like, bruh, no. Don't even answer the phone. After a certain time, cut that phone. Do not disturb mode. Okay? Wind down time, right? You come and man, I know I shouldn't go over to XYZ, like an event or a place, whatever. If you go to certain environments, you're going to feel some type of way. But because your friend or your family member or somebody invited you, you're going to feel like some type of way if you don't go. Like, man, I really should go because they invited me. Even though if I go over there, I know XYZ is going to be over there. And I just ain't feeling that. Like, it's going to be a lot of drama, even in the atmosphere. Like, it's going to be a lot of drama if I go. It's going to be this, that. I'm going to come home and I'm just going to be out of it. I'm going to feel drained. All these different things, right? Stop doing that to yourself. I know. It's easier said than done. I have a whole program I can walk you through to help you out with that. But I know it's easier said than done. But just being aware of this, right, will help you. It will start changing the game for you. This stuff, I'm telling you, I feel this stuff with all my heart, man. Like, I'm just here to help as many people as I can, as many people as I'm assigned to help. And I will. I know, like, okay, man, you gotta stop worrying about pleasing other people, even when it's detriment. Like, bro, you're important. Your mental health is important. Your energy levels is important. All of that. You are important. Period. I want you to know that. All right. So we're going to go ahead to number 5. Number 5, you are what other people want and need you to be, not who you need you to be. Oof. Oh, somebody say ouch right there. Okay. I'm going to say that one again. Number 5, you are what other people want and need you to be, not who you need you to be. Again, you are important. You must show up for yourself. We know you're an amazing human being. That's why you're showing up for everybody else. That's why you're doing the things that everybody else wants you to do, right? That's why you majored in whatever it is that maybe your parents or friends and family members said you should major in, versus what you actually wanted to do. Right? You're miserable in that career. You're miserable in that relationship. But people around you say, this is what you should do. Yep, you should be in this career. You should do that because of X, Y, Z. And you should be with this person and that because of X, Y, Z. When you know deep down in your heart, it is not the life that you want. Ooh, we must stop this. We know, oh my goodness. Look. That's you. Reach out to me today, ASAP. Boundaries and More podcast on Instagram. Look, reach out to me today. Email me even, right? Oh my gosh. And you know what? No, reach out to me on Instagram. We'll get you all set up, right? I don't want to get a whole bunch of emails of people that ain't serious. And if I know that you make a way. We'll make this happen. Or reach out to me, comment, right? Maybe you don't have an Instagram and stuff. I got to think about that. Not everybody like to be on Instagram like I like to be on Instagram. So I get that. Comment below, send me a message, right? All of these things, just, hey, if you comment, everybody won't see. I'll see it first. Just tell me, hey, nope, don't want this to be shown, but I need your help with this XYZ. Let me know. I got you. Oh my gosh, I'm so passionate about this. There's things I've been implementing in my life that has changed the game for me for years, right? This isn't something that I just woke up yesterday and like, you know what? Today I have all the boundaries in the world. Like, no, it was a whole process. And now I have a whole process that I'm helping other people through to get to the other side of things, to feel good about it, not guilty, right? When it's time for you to take care of yourself, or it's time for you to get, that me time, right? Heather Headley, that's one of my favorite songs. Like, these parts of it, right? I need some me time, not some him and some her, just a little bit of free time. Like I need some me time. I love it. Look, there's nothing wrong with taking care of you. You don't have to feel guilty about wanting to take care of you. You don't have to feel guilty about saying no to events and environments that you know isn't good for you to be in. I can help you with that. I'm telling you. But you got to want it. I only want to work with people that really, really, really want to get through this, past this, and work on some stuff, right? To really be on the other side, to have it deeply rooted. Like it's important to me, but I'm going to leave it at that. Look, that's it. Look, 5 signs your boundaries are lacking. That's where we're at. Matter of fact, this is what the tactical things for you today. Practical, right? The practical thing for you today is really listen to these 5 things and evaluate in your life where one of the 5 is happening. And make sure you let me know. Comment, right? If you're watching this on YouTube, comment in the video, comment below to let me know which one. Like, I need number 2 is getting me, Jazz. Number 5 is the one, right? Just let me know which one is really like, yeah, this is the one you really, really need to work on because you see it happening in your life. Some of you might be out there like, yo, Jazz, oh my goodness, 1 through 5. I need some help. Like, let's go. Right? Let me know which one it is. Which one is really tripping you up? Which one is like the one you want to just go in on? Let me know that. All right. And of course, this podcast has blessed you in any way. This episode, any of the other episodes, go ahead, rate it a 5-star review on whatever platform that you're listening to this podcast on. Let me know what's going on. What's your thoughts? What is it? What is it? Like, let me know. I really, really appreciate it because I really appreciate each and every one of you for being here and listening to the podcast. I really do. I know every episode I say that, but it's true. There's no need for me to lie to you, right? Now, one of y'all are paying me to be here on this podcast. I'm here taking, again, my time to do that, right? My time, my energy, my money. I'm not asking, like, I'm just, again, appreciating each and every one of you. Truly. And I love that. Oh my goodness. Yo, make sure you get your Joyful Styles apparel. That's at joyfulstyles.com, JOYFULSTYLEZ. Connect with me on Instagram at Boundaries and More Podcast. Again, if you have questions or you have some takeaways, what's your takeaway from this episode, right? Again, comment below. Send me a message. Contact me, right? We get this thing started now. I would love to hear from each and every one of you. Again, thank you to all of you for listening all over the world. Again, I love to see it. But be here next week. Wait, before that. Yeah. Again, thank you all for listening to the podcast. I pray you all go out and have an amazingly beautiful day, and that you tune in next week to more Boundaries and More with Jess Abraham. Talk to y'all then.